Welcome to the mini-focus training on SMS messaging using the one-time message feature. The SMS program reminder type of message will be covered in another video. The one-time message feature is an excellent way to send a single message to a particular client. It also has some limited abilities to send to a group of clients. Prior to sending a text to a client, you must confirm that the client has a text cell phone entered in their Communications tab. To do this, go to the Communications tab under the client's name on the VHR screen. Look for an entry that says Text Cell in the type. We do allow multiple text cell phones, so you could send a message to the client and to their transportation person if desired. The text cell must have a start date that is a day sometime before you're trying to send the message, and it must have either no end date or a future end date on the text cell. If the client does not have a text cell set up and active, then one must be set up. Instructions for adding text cell phones to a client chart are available in a separate video. To set up a text message to send, you must scroll to the bottom of the VHR screen and select the Utilities menu option. This will pop up the Utilities menu, which has two separate types of SMS messages. Select the one-time message option. This will open the one-time message box and it will be in new message entry mode. I want to show you one that I've already entered, so I'm going to hit cancel. The first thing you must do is enter a description. Please be very descriptive because you may want to come back later and edit it, so you'll need to be able to find the message that you entered. You will then enter the client code. Be sure that the client code is also followed by the name. That means that the system has validated that it can find the client you're selecting. You will note that the activity date and staff code are disabled at the moment because I selected a client code. More about that in a little bit. Next, we strongly suggest you use the schedule feature versus the send now feature. If you use the schedule, this allows you to schedule for a time in the future, which is very desirable because you may wish to come back and edit the message before it actually gets sent. You'll need to select a day from the calendar control and a time. In this case I picked 8 a.m. The minutes are entered separately and you can enter down to a specific minute, so I'm going to send this message at 8:22 on the 20th. You must select the communication type of text cell. That's the only cell phone type that we support to send messages. You then enter in your message. We do strongly suggest that every message begins with "Do not reply to this text," because there's no way for a client to actually reply back to the text that they will receive. If you do choose to use the one-time message option to send a grouped text, you would click on the All Clients button above. At that point, the client code would be disabled and activity date and staff code would become active. You would fill in an activity date, say today's date, and a staff code, John Smith perhaps. And then you could send a text message saying, "John Smith is sick today, please call and reschedule your appointment." That way everybody who has an activity on the calendar for today for John Smith would receive the message that their clinician is sick. To find out whether or not your messages actually went through, you click on the Log button. This will open up the Logs box, and at this point you will enter in the day for the log that you want to select, and then you would hit Search. Since this log will actually contain HIPAA-protected information about a client, I'm going to show you one as an example that I have previously set up. In this case, I have blanked out the real phone numbers. The only phone numbers remaining are actually test phone numbers. When you do send the appointment reminders, it will fill in what was sent as the message, and it will show whether or not it was delivered or if it failed. This is a great way to double check to see that your messages have actually gone as you expected them to go. Thank you for viewing the SMS messaging one-time message option video.